Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode. Today I wanted to talk about the General's Trial. It's a little bit of a shorter episode, but I wanted to cover this just because it is a very important event and you get really, really good rewards. And while this event is not really complicated, you do want to take the time, make sure that your alliance members are doing possibly like the highest challenge they can to push themselves. And then if they can't beat it, to get rallies. And as long as you have multiple other players in your alliance that can help out to do rallies, it shouldn't be a big deal. You do have 3 days to clear these. It is a little time consuming on the original stages where you have to defeat 30 waves. But then when you get up to these stages, the newer ones, where you only have to fight 10 of them, these do go fairly fast because you only have to fight 10 stages. You don't have to fight 30. But the difficulty on these is very, very high. As you can see, I am on level 6, so the level 6 difficulty. And down below, it will tell you the level 10 Elite Instructor has a suggested power of 60 million. That is a 60 million march that is suggested if you're trying to solo the level 6. I can't do that. I have about a 45.5 million march, so I have to do rallies. I do clear a lot of it by myself, but I do need teammates to help me. But the rewards at level 6 compared to level 5 are quite a bit better, and level 5 is still pretty difficult on its own. But just to get the rewards, it is better to try to push as high as you can. The one thing I don't understand about these higher levels, though, even though you need 60 million potentially to clear this by yourself, for whatever reason, when you are clearing the first 3 waves and you finish that, you get 24 purple shards, 24 blue shards, 6,000 skill medals, 300 gems, and a little bit of drone XP, a little bit of hero XP. Those rewards make absolutely no sense. If you have a 60 million march, or even if you're, say at my point where you have 45 million march for the first squad, I'm really not looking forward to doing this and then getting some purple and blue shards. It just doesn't give you much of anything. Even when you put that stuff into the Wall of Honor, it's just almost useless. And then this doesn't really get you doesn't really get your drone anywhere. And then 6,000 skill medals. While this stuff can add up, 6,000 skill medals gets you a fraction of an upgrade when you're upgrading your heroes with weapon shards and you're going from level 30 skills to level 40 skills. And I would say if you get up to these difficulties and you don't have some really heavy hitters in your alliance, you could probably just hang around level 4, level 5, and still get a decent amount of gifts. You're going to get a lot of weapon shards. You're going to get some of the items for the new Overlord. And you're going to get 35 drone parts at level 5. Level 4, same thing, 35 drone parts. And that is pretty important. And you still get the 6 level 3 drone components. So the difference between level 4, 5, and 6 is really not too much if you think about it. So you're getting 12 weapon shards here, 16 weapon shards here. So not a huge difference. But if you're stuck down at level 1, if your team can help you out, try to get you to level 3 at least, you will start seeing quite a bit more of all the items, including drone parts. There are only 30 here and only level 5, level 3 drone component chests here. So getting up to at least 3 will get you those 35 drone parts, and then you're just missing out on some of the weapon shards. Until you get higher, when you get to level 4, that's when you start getting the Overlord shards. And so this is a good place if your alliance isn't super strong. This is probably a good place to hang out. It is easy to beat if you have like a 45 million march. So if you have many players with that, which if you're in season 2, season 3, you probably have players that have a 45 or 40 million march already. But even on the original stages where you have to clear 30 waves, usually the first 15 are easy, and then after that, 16 through 30 is where it starts to ramp up, with the last 3 really scaling up fast. So you might think that the first 10, 15 stages are pretty easy. You don't lose that many troops. you get to round 25, and then all of a sudden you start losing half your team every single hit. And that's probably when you should start to rally, just to help reduce the amount of troops that you lose, because you do have the alliance buffs for rallying. So you get the attack, HP, and defense increase when you rally. So there's a good chance you'll lose less troops and be able to clear it. Even when you're having them help you in the rally, you could still technically clear it on your own. Not only is it important for yourself and all your members individually to get higher, better rewards, because you want everybody to excel. You want them to get the best rewards possible out of here within, whatever your alliance is capable of handling without putting too much stress on like just one or two players. But the other thing with that is the alliance challenge. So if you don't have too many players clearing certain levels, you will not be able to get up to here to clear the level 8, level 9, level 7 alliance challenges, because you don't have enough people clearing those higher tier levels. So if you only have, say, half your alliance doing level 5, and then you have a few people doing level 6 and level 7, you may not have enough to clear these. And as you can see, if you get all the way up to level 9, that's 26.5 million resources, and then 16.9 million gold, 90 million hero XP, and then you get a ton of alliance contribution tokens every time you clear these stages. But as you can see, the higher you go, the better the rewards are. And then you just continue to clear these stages. So you have all 9 of these to clear if you can get up that high and clear these. That's going to give you a ton of resources to be able to do upgrades, whether that's tech or building upgrades. And you're going to be able to level up your heroes. And then alliance contribution points, always, always, always very good to have. This just goes to show that it's not always about everybody individually, but it's, again, about the alliance. You're trying to progress as your alliance. You push yourselves, you might lose some troops, but at the end of the day, it's all about getting the best rewards. And this event has a ton of great rewards to offer. And while it may not be as insanely great as what you can get from gold zombies, because you can farm those and get tons and tons of other rewards, these are still very, very good. And to have this every other week, it's not as complicated. You may not lose as many troops like you would when you're fighting the gold zombies, but you're still getting possibly 16 weapon shards, 35 drone parts, and this is at the higher levels. If you're doing the original stages 1 through 9, the rewards for those are going to be a lot lower, but still very good to do. The point of this video is to say, challenge yourself, challenge your alliance. Make sure that you don't have people that are just settling because they think that they can't beat a certain stage, so they're just going to stay behind. Encourage them to push, do better. And again, it's all about helping your alliance progress. And then in turn, you're all going to get better rewards too by unlocking these stages down here and getting the rewards out of here. That's it for today. Shorter video. Thanks again for watching, and I hope you all have a great day.